Football is one of the highest paid sports, and the players receive hundreds of thousands of dollars per week. And when these players love a certain thing, they go to crazy lengths to buy those items, some of which are pretty absurd. So today, we're going to take a look at 10 stupidly expensive things owned by football legends. If you want to know all about them, stay with us until the end of the video. Let's get started. Antoine Griezmann. You can't forget about Antoine Griezmann while discussing about absurd purchases that cost millions of dollars. The fact that this person signed a $145 million contract in 2019 shows that he is not a typical soccer player. This man went out and spent $500,000 on this because he had to be exclusive. The Rolex Rainbow Daytona, one of the iciest and rarest watches in the world, was acquired by Anton. This masterwork has a bezel set with 56 brilliant cut diamonds and a 36 bouquet cut rainbow sapphire. But $400K for a watch is not a bad price. Antoine could at least flaunt it. Erling Haaland. Well, not all football stars invest their wealth in timepieces, as demonstrated by Erling Haaland's shocking actions after leaving dormant. It should come as no surprise that the Norwegian striker intended to move to Manchester City in 2022. He has been a fan throughout his life, and his father has played there at one point in his career. However, he bought his squad gifts worth $500,000 because he didn't want to abandon them without anything. He purchased special Omega watches for the entire Dortmund Club staff for $7,000 each, in addition to 15,000 custom Rolexes for each of his 33 colleagues. That's what you call a true team player right there. Mario Balotelli. For a player as wild as Mario, a $31 million contract with Man City was simply too much money in his bank account. As a result, he had to pay out, and Mario blew the money on a $250,000 Bentley Continental GT and a $180,000 Maserati. The cars themselves were not the stupidly expensive problem, it's what he did with them. Initially, Mario was a law-abiding individual who drove within the posted limits and parked in approved areas. Nevertheless, his millions of riches soon changed him into a monster. Instead of showing respect when he arrived at restaurants in his Bentley or Maserati, Balotelli would simply drive up and park anywhere. Mario received repeated charges and a $500,000 in fines, but he failed to take any lesson from it. Thus, he continued to do it, and that resulted in the seizure of his vehicles 27 times. He eventually became wary of picking up his automobile after every meal. Mario thought that the car was the problem, so he gave it away to his teammate. Pretty stupid, we'd call it. Neymar Jr. Neymar was a kid who grew up in the worst conditions. His family was so destitute that they resided in a home without electricity or food. If it wasn't difficult enough, Neymar was tormented by neighboring kids while playing soccer in the streets every day. They would make fun of Neymar's secondhand clothing and his family's inability to acquire a nice living, but Neymar refused to let it get to him. It simply gave him more motivation to find a way out for his family and himself. In order to become one of the greatest soccer players this country has ever seen, he gave everything up and committed his entire life to the sport. Neymar started earning multi-million-dollar contracts in 2009 and moved from the Sao Paulo ghetto to mansions in Rio. Later in 2019, Neymar spent $14 million on a 10-passenger Mercedes-Benz helicopter, which of course features Neymar's insignia on the tail. Also, he completely redesigned the interior to look like Batman, his favorite superhero. Jerome Boateng. In 2019, Jerome Boateng made the decision that he needed to spend his money in another way to gain attention because his Bentleys and Mercedes simply weren't attracting enough attention. He was aware of the ideal candidate to help him out. He therefore took out his phone and dialed Gabriel the jeweler. After that, Jerome bought some of the iciest, coldest jewelry you'll ever see. He got a customized Audemars baguette worth $100,000 with 3 Cuban link chains, a diamond bezel, and a 30-carat stones. That's what you call royalty right there. David Beckham. Our list can't be complete without mentioning David Beckham and how pricey his hair can be. This is from a time when a firm wanted to use Beckham to sell their hair cream as a treatment for sleek, sporty, and smart personas. However, there was one requirement. He had to acquire a very specific haircut that would cost him $6,000 to get. And to be completely honest, it appears to be nothing that my barber couldn't accomplish for $30. Beckham gave this some serious thinking, since he considered his hair to be more than just his hair. But his wife made him comply with the arrangement Brill Cream was providing. Later, it practically paid off when Beckham agreed to a 4-year, $6 million contract with the business. Thus, it appears that a one-time $6,000 investment was worthwhile. At this point, you must be getting eager to know about Ronaldo and whether he had anything absurd in his closet. Well, we're just getting to that next. But before we head to the next player, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Football Plaza. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Cristiano Ronaldo. In addition to pushing the limits of his physical capabilities, Ronaldo is regarded as one of the best soccer players in history. Ronaldo bought a performance-enhancing mouthguard out of curiosity because no other player had even worn one. This mouthguard that Ronaldo has been sporting actually helps him balance better and gives him more strength. It appears that this mouthpiece assists in evenly distributing all of his energy throughout his entire body by correctly aligning his jaw with his skull and chest. Rocking with this $130,000 piece, ever since his performance has improved significantly. It is indisputable that this could be giving him superpowers. But Ronaldo doesn't stop here. He also spent literally millions to have one of his Bugattis worn on his wrist. The only Bugatti watch in the entire world, owned by him, is covered in titanium, champagne gold, black sapphires, a baguette diamond, and a personalized CR7 insignia. Kylian Mbappé. Ronaldo may have the most luxurious things, but you won't believe what Kylian Mbappé spent his money on growing up in Paris. The 23-year-old striker had just one dream: to don the dark blue shirt with the Eiffel Tower on it. After becoming one of Monaco's greatest talents of all time, PSG made him a record-breaking bid of $188 million, making that ambition a reality. Obviously, unable to refuse such an offer, Mbappé purchased a $3 million penthouse as soon as he received his first salary. It has 3 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows with city views, and he can see the Eiffel Tower from his bedroom. It's situated in the heart of a Paris commercial district. Alright now, I see why he chose this location because I would have too. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Coming to our next player, you won't believe what he spends his money on. Every year, Zlatan Ibrahimovic spends over $1 million a year on himself as a birthday present. Yes, the greatest striker in history is renowned for a number of things, including his incredible goal-scoring prowess, his ability to intimidate opponents, and his recent purchase of an absurdly costly whip for his birthday. On his 38th birthday, Zlatan purchased a $1.75 million Ferrari Monza SP2, one of 499 cars that even frighten Formula One drivers. He purchased a $230,000 limited edition Porsche 911 Targa Heritage Edition for his 39th birthday to match his Milan jersey. Then, on his 40th birthday, he flaunted his golden Ferrari SP90 to the world. This vehicle has 1,000 horsepower and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds. So it makes sense why this car cost him more than $500,000. But that's still a bargain compared to his 41st birthday present. As usual, Zlatan posted pictures of his new acquisition on social media. But this time, he showed off not one, but 2 Ferraris, a Daytona SP3, and an 812 competition. Now, after spending that much money, it's safe to say that Zlatan is having a midlife crisis. But he's not the only one, because what Gareth Bale did will definitely surprise you. You see, Bale spends millions of dollars behind the scenes developing a secret skill. Most people assume that he spends his free time honing his football talents, but he's actually been honing his golf swing. Yeah, he became so enamored with golf that he entirely redesigned the property around his home to include exact copies of the most famous golf courses in the world. But Bale's obsession with golf didn't end there. He opted to build a location for everyone to enjoy with a 23,000 square foot facility that has 3 mini golf courses and is wrapped in neon lights rather than spend additional money on his house. It even has its own bar and restaurant. However, Bale isn't content with just one golf bar. He wants to make it a global empire and has ambitions to expand locations throughout the UK and Dubai. So what are your thoughts on these stupidly expensive purchases? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Football Plaza. Also, turn on the bell notifications so you never miss out on new content. And if you want to watch a video on 10 footballers who are playing for the wrong country, then click on the video to your left. And thank you for watching.